Hi, and welcome to Triangle Spotlight. I am Suzanne Lynn, and I'm so excited today. We've got Christine Williams Stewart. I want to make sure that I get that in the right order.
Yes.
And Christine is local here in Central Florida, Mount Dora area. And Christine, why don't you just start, because you have so many areas that we're going to touch on today. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm proud to be Vice President of my family's insurance agency, Pruett-Williams Insurance. We are an independent agency, meaning that we have access to a number of different national carriers, including names you've probably heard of: Allstate, Travelers, Progressive, and more. And I focus on business as well as personal insurance. The business side seems obvious, but on personal, we handle home, auto, boat, including antique and classic, golf cart,
neat.
RV, things you might not have thought of.
That's really important here in Florida,
yes,
right?
Very important.
Yes. And then talk about the connection with Mount Dora and the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I have been serving with the Mount Dora Area Chamber of Commerce for about 3 years now, and I am currently the chair of that organization. We have our chamber breakfast once a month, which is going to be on the second Wednesday at 7:30.
Okay, mark that down.
Yes, in our chamber depot, so please come and see us. And contact me. Our office phone number is 352-357-6119. I can give you more information about that.
Okay, yeah, we'll put the link somewhere down here.
Perfect.
Right there, around there.
Okay.
And then I want to touch on, before we get too deep, that gorgeous necklace that you have on. Can you talk about that?
Yes, and you have to feel the weight of
Holy
her.
cow,
This
it's so
is
heavy. It's
Marbella,
beautiful.
and this is a fundraiser that Lake Cares Food Pantry, Irene O'Malley is the executive director, started 2 years ago.
Okay.
Golden Art Jewelers in Mount Dora fashioned this gorgeous necklace.
That's Randall Donnelly, right?
Yes, and it's approximately worth $25,000. So
wow.
I was a little nervous the first few days of wearing it, but it's insured.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I did ask that question. You can buy a ticket for $50. It's a donation to Lake Cares. You can actually buy more than one ticket.
Okay.
And there will be a drawing on April 2nd, and there will be a winner who will receive her. Yes.
Are you ready to give it up? Are you okay with it?
No, I'm very attached. I painted my nails blue and everything.
You did.
This is out of the box for me.
Well, tell me about what they're raising money for.
They're raising money to help people with food insecurity in our community all throughout Lake County. So for those who may need a supplement, for those who are homeless, those are also programs that they provide. They donated approximately 450 tons of food in 2019 back to our community, and they're funded by donations. They also have a children's program for those who are in school who may not have enough food to eat at home, which is near and dear to me and my husband's heart. And they not only help them during the school year, they help them over the summer as well. So lakecares.org has plenty of information, or again, please call me and I'll connect any of your viewers or listeners.
Is it my imagination, or do we have a very giving community?
We
I
do.
mean, we have a lot of people that step up and say, you know, I love Mount Dora, I love the Golden Triangle, and how can we help?
Yes, and our office borders Tiberias, Eustis, and Mount Dora, so my husband and I are very involved. We're amazed at what this community does and gives back.
Yeah. Let's talk about your office and what you do with insurance, because you have a couple really unique products I want to talk about.
Yes. So for business insurance, the takeaway for anyone out there today is review your business insurance with your agent at least once a year.
Once a year? I mean, I was thinking, well, maybe once every 5 years.
I know. Most people do. That is not uncommon at all.
Okay.
And don't think about setting it and forgetting it. Think about having your agent review it with you. That's what we're here for. And I can provide that at no charge.
Okay. And that's because your circumstances change.
Correct.
You become an empty nester. You acquire more valuables.
Correct, exactly. So at least once a year on the business insurance side, that's what I want to stress. On the personal insurance side, think about a personal umbrella. And what that is an additional layer of liability. For example, we have an additional $1 million on top of our auto and our homeowners limits should there be a lawsuit or an accident necessitating a claim that's over our limits.
That can really mess up your life.
Correct. And often it's just a few $100s a year for $1 million additional. So again, that's something to just go over with for your agent if it's appropriate for you. And we'd be happy to look at that as well.
What's the biggest mistake that you see people make, or maybe the biggest myth that people don't understand?
Good question. I think I hear a lot that they think that their limits are sufficient. And for example, with auto insurance, we don't write the minimum limits that are permitted in the state of Florida because they're so low. If something happens, you need to actually be able to use the coverage. And oftentimes in an accident, it's far going to exceed what is acceptable. So we would recommend talking with your agent about what they would see as acceptable limits as opposed to just writing the minimum and thinking that that's going to be sufficient.
Sure. It's kind of like having a medical stent put in. It's nice to know that you can rely on that, but if you eat healthy and you prevent that from happening,
Very good
that's
point.
Kind of what you're doing, right?
Absolutely.
You're doing prevention.
Preventative. And again, once a year, and let's say you go to the dentist once a year, call up your agent, and actually some of our reviews can be done in 15 minutes. For people who want to go more in depth, it can be an hour, however long it takes to make sure that we can customize it to you. And that's the benefit, really, of the independent system.
That's great.
Yeah.
What would be the lasting message that you'd want to share with someone who's listening about insurance and it's maybe been 5-10 years? What would you say to them?
Don't be intimidated by it. Take a look at it. And on the flip side of intimidated, some people are just bored by it and they don't care to understand. That's okay. We can make it as streamlined as you like. You don't have to read your policy cover to cover, although it'd be great if you did. That would be fantastic. I love it when I see someone come in with a sticky note, a highlighted policy. It doesn't happen often. But do call your agent. That's what we're here for. And have them streamline it and make sure that it's appropriate to you and your family.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to jump into one of the biggest topics that you and I talk about is Apollo.
Yes.
And Apollo is your adoptive dog. And man, when I heard this story about how you got Apollo, most of our dogs have been rescue dogs. Your story is so incredibly unique, and I'd love to bring some attention to the organization that you got him through. Would you share that story?
Absolutely. So we had lost both of our beloved pets after 14 years and 15 years last year. And the running joke was that my husband was asked, when will you all adopt again? And he said, when I get home and my wife has adopted again.
Right.
And sure enough, after about 2 months of an empty house, I started looking online at the local rescues. And our last sweet girl that passed away was a husky, and we fell in love with the breed, and she was so amazing we wanted a husky. So through the internet I got connected with a rescue called Jindo Love, and we could put the link up as well so that they can contact them directly.
Right there, yep.
And it was the most incredible experience. They rescue dogs from the dog meat trade. So he is from South Korea.
Wow. So let me just kind of wrap my mind around this. When you said the dog meat trade, they're murdering them for food.
From what I understand, it's a very gruesome situation. I don't recommend Googling it. Right. And what I was able to do and learn through word of mouth was extremely unpleasant. From what I understand, there was a van on the way to the dog meat trade with 28 dogs, including Apollo, on it. And the rescue was able to obtain those dogs and adopt them out. Get ready for the adoption application. It made my bar exam application look light.
No.
Yes.
But that's so wonderful. It's going to
They were extremely thorough.
Great homes.
Yes.
You know,
they were very thorough.
This wasn't just a, hey, Mommy, I want a puppy for Christmas. This is, you've got to really think about this, be qualified. You've got to be worthy to be able to get these dogs.
They care so much.
Yeah.
It was incredible. They're a 501c3, I believe, and they have board members from all across the world. So we were actually messaging in a group message, and we filled out the application forms, and he came home on January 9th.
Oh. I feel like I walked with you through it, because I'm like, how's Apollo
It was
doing
right
today?
in the middle when you and I met and started talking about it. Yeah.
That is wonderful. I mean, if you've never, speaking of dogs here, I'm just going to get our dog here.
You should.
Toby, come here. Come here. This is our rescue dog. Since we're talking about dogs, we'll make him part of the show today. Toby was rescued. He rescued us, actually. And it changes. Well, thank you, buddy. It changes your life.
It does.
It really does. And
it does.
While there's probably nothing wrong with pets that are in pet stores, you're changing both lives when you're able to rescue a not just a dog, but pets.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. So I always look to adopt first. This was a bit of an unusual circumstance, but it worked out beautifully. He's so sweet, and he's really improved our lives every day. 14
and 15. I mean, there really is a hole in your heart when people say they're family. there's just no question about that.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
So. Christine, do you have any lasting thoughts? Anything you'd like to end with? Could we maybe do that with contact information? How to get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Pruett-Williams Insurance, Christine Williams Stewart. Our phone number is 352-357-6119, extension 2. We'll dial you directly in my office, or any of our team members will be happy to speak with you. Our website is www.pruett-williamsinsurance.com, and we'll put that up on the screen for everybody.
That sounds great.
As well.
Yes, one more link down here. And one more plug for Mount Dora Area Chamber of Commerce, because if you've never been part of a Chamber of Commerce, it is a community and a network that you can't imagine. If you're just kind of on your own little island, what would you tell someone about what it means to jump into a chamber?
Yes, please call me. Come as my guest to any of our events. We would welcome you, and just dive into the networking events, meet your fellow business people in town. And I've made great friends. We have an ambassador program. We have volunteers through the chamber. So there are numerous ways to spend time and to really deepen relationships.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Christine, thank you so much.
Thank
I'm so glad that you came
So
today.
nice to be here.
And one more
in
time.
person.
Yeah, look at that beautiful necklace. That could be yours.
Sort of.
Sort of, kind of.
I bought several tickets.
I see where this is going.
Yes, I'm attached.
Thanks again.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.
You too, dear.
Thank you. Thanks for watching the show. We hope that you enjoyed it. Having digital marketing for your product or organization is so crucial these days. People are ditching traditional advertising like print and broadcast commercials and turning to relationship marketing platforms like YouTube and podcasts that people can consume on demand on their time. Let's talk about how we can build your digital library with segments just like this.